This is Gabriel Shoop, also known online as FunnyGuy13 or FNAF Lore Fanatic. He is a Five Nights at Freddy's content creator. He's been attempting to grow his following for close to 5 years, currently with 130,000 followers on TikTok and 1,300 on YouTube. The information in this video has been gathered by a team of people who want the wider public to know of the inappropriate behavior and possible crimes committed by Gabriel. This video wasn't written just by me. This is the work of over a dozen people spending hundreds if not thousands of combined hours to get to the truth of the matter, and to make the plea for why this creator should go away. Gabe started making FNAF content on TikTok in the early 2020s. His first real contact with other creators was the result of him falsely flagging and reporting their videos because he didn't like their theories. He wanted their videos and their monetization removed. He was confronted about this and apologized. "I will stop trying to get TikToker banned. Because I didn't like the theory, I did report her account." In this apology, he weaponized self-harm and suicide to the people that he had hurt, making them apologize to him for his bad actions. Guys, I've stepped away from TikTok for a while. I know everyone is mad at me for reporting the account, but you all have blown this out of proportion. I'm trying to apologize to everyone here, and I have thought long and hard about what I have to say. First, people think I banned user 1's account, which I did not. But I had attempted to ban user 2's account. Because I was being petty because I did not like her theories, I can admit that I am the toxic one here because I do take the lore too seriously. And I didn't recognize that until now. Reflecting on that and putting it on top of my personal life right now has gotten me to where I want to kill myself. My mom is in the hospital dying and fighting for her life, and my grandma is just not caring about her own daughter who could die before her. You don't know me personally, and the FNAF games is my outlet to escape this terrible world when I'm not working, and I won't let anyone take that away from me. I have uninstalled TikTok for now, and, like William Afton, I will come back. But for right now, can you all please just leave me alone? I don't need this right now. I'm done, and if I don't post to TikTok or any of my friends on Discord, then I hope you can all live that I have died and killed myself because of you. I hate this world right now. I can't stand being in this place where I don't feel welcome. I'm done. And before I pass out, I'll send you pictures of my wrist before I die. Because I'm done. You all have driven me to the point of no return. My blood is on your hands. Live with that. Some of the creators in this space felt that the best way to rein Gabe in was to befriend him, to have him join their group. We were told that they thought this would make him change his ways. Unfortunately, new problems arose. Gabe's videos objectively did not get the same reach and attention as other FNAF creators in their group, causing Gabe more emotional distress. He began to date one of these other creators, who reflected back on that time, stating, "The times that we would dedicate to discussing lore, 9 out of 10 of those times it always ended in a screaming match initiated by him, which would promptly be shut down by me because I would tell him I do not appreciate being spoken to in such a way. The conversation would then spiral into a pity fest on his behalf, where he would insult himself and justify his anger by openly admitting his jealousy of me because I can create lore in a way that he couldn't. This would result in me having to comfort him after yelling at me. I was screamed at when disagreeing with him about FNAF lore every single time. The arguments got worse. The problems were ignored, and the only things we could mutually engage in without it spiraling into an argument was having sex over the phone."
That sex was poggers, but I need to get back to telling you about the Five Nights at Freddy's timeline.
She then, addressing Gabe, said, "All of the times in these conversations where I've offered to help you write lore, even when I disagreed with you, when you came up for our collaboration, we sat in my bedroom until 4 o'clock in the morning writing your Mrs. Afton theory after I had spent the previous 2 hours of that time trying to get you up off my bedroom floor and talk you out of completely quitting making content." Most of their relationship happened over the internet, with the exception of one time when they met for a video collaboration. This is how Gabe described their relationship. "Things were going good until we did a collab back in 2021 when Security Breach was coming out. Me and her were excited, because I had chosen to go meet up with them and she let me sleep in her car because I couldn't have gotten a hotel room. My bus got delayed when it was time for me to come home, and her parents let me stay with them till they took me home the wed of that week. Truth be told, me and her had a great relationship, sex and all. She even consented to have sex with me." Gabe's statement here is very telling. He refers to their encounters as her even consenting to sex, as if the consent is a bonus. We'll talk about the other allegations later, but he's also stretching the truth here with his knowledge of her other relationships. because throughout all of their times engaging with each other, he would constantly tell her that she should break up with her other boyfriends. He also blackmailed her into further sexual activity, knowing she was in a relationship, telling her if they stopped, he would tell her boyfriend. Quote, Gabriel and I continued to video chat every day or as often as possible. Very quickly did Gabe express his sadness about my current status, but he said he was respectful of it. These conversations regarding him being upset with this news always boiled back down to how much he loved and missed me, and how he was all alone. He would always make offhand comments insulting my relationship, and had expressed jealousy toward my partner. He would say certain phrases, such as, how do I know you even care about me? I knew you were the one when I met you, but now you're gone and I'm all alone. I would try to comfort him and open up about how much I cared about him, and tried to build his confidence by saying that there will always be someone out there for him, to which he would respond with key phrases such as, but you're the one I want, I wish we were still together, and I feel like you're still my girlfriend. We would go back and forth a bit, and I tried my best to hold my ground, but it was never enough. Gabriel managed to coerce me on multiple occasions to have relations with him, to which I would promptly express after the fact that I did not like what was happening between Gabe and I. Doing this was wrong. These situations progressively became more manipulative to the point where if I sensed he was becoming upset, I would initiate intimacy to keep his anger from bubbling over. This survivor states that every time she engaged in these activities with Gabe, she would tell him afterward that she didn't want to do it again. He allegedly threatened to tell her boyfriend about them if she stopped. Gabe had visited this creator for almost 2 weeks, and it was while he was staying with her that they engaged in physical sexual activity for the first time. This was after they broke up and while she was dating someone else. During this time, she states there was an instance in which she didn't even consent to the activity that they engaged in. While she did share the story with us, we've been asked by her to not go into any more detail than this. We hope that you will agree with us respecting her decision. Gabe also took advantage of his knowledge of her past and trauma to manipulate her into further sexual activity. He even had her draft messages to their friends and other content creators defending him once instances of his bad behavior came to light. He knew he could control her and make her do things against her better judgment. He used her mouth to speak his words to other people. She defended him because he made her. Gabe told a mutual friend that he felt like he owned her, passing blame off onto some sort of protective persona of his. Well, just to clarify, that I messed up big time, and I feel so terrible about this every day. But what happened was that I got so mad that I lashed out my feelings in the wrong way toward her, that I even went behind her back to see if she was dating this guy. And once I found out that they were, the protective side of me activated, and that version of me is very scary to be around. He, as in my protective side, thinks that we own her, and that she's mine because we had that big collab and we loved one another. I still love her like she is my own, and that's where I messed up, is because that side of me took things way too far and tried to sabotage them, which was up on my part. I shouldn't have done it, but I couldn't stop myself because I love her so much. This is the way that Gabe frames trying to break up his ex's new relationship, and blackmailing her to continue sexual encounters by threatening to tell her new boyfriend about them. If for any reason you believe Gabe when he says he feels terrible about what happened, there's another dimension to this story. Unbeknownst to his group of FNAF content creator friends at this time, in October 2021, the same month he was staying at his ex's house, saying he was still in love with her, calling her his. The same time he was filming these videos, the same time he was blackmailing her, he was texting a 15-year-old girl over Snapchat. She left comments on his TikTok videos and he messaged her and got her to talk to him off-platform. Gabe allegedly sent the 15-year-old an unprompted picture of his penis during their conversation. Due to how Snapchat works and how many years ago this was, we can't verify that this crime actually occurred. But his victim is, in our opinion, trustworthy. She's talked about this incident for many years, to many groups of people. The screenshots we do have indicate that this is an action we believe Gabe would likely take. We have this message, in which the victim asks Gabe for a picture, and he asks if she wants a picture of an eggplant emoji. She then specifies his face. An eggplant emoji, of course, is a common euphemism for penis. We can extrapolate that sending a picture of his penis to this minor would not have been out of the question, given this prompt. Their conversations are quite disturbing in context. I want to see your beautiful face. Baby, you're still cute as beautiful. Give it to me, baby, hot and heavy. Talk dirty to me, LMAO. JK. Call me daddy, I don't care. Smug emoji, winking emoji, winking emoji. It is here we believe he sent an unprompted picture of his penis. Well, I didn't expect that. I'm a little freak like that at times. I told you I was a handful. Kissing emoji, tongue emoji, water droplets emoji. How freaky are you? Cause I'm in the mood for something if you are, lol. Anything really. You saw nothing, by the way. Virtual boyfriend and virtual girlfriend. For now, until we can meet up. Then we can be physical, not in the weird way though. Blushing emoji. Yeah, I know, but so we're dating now, kinda. Yeah, if you want to, lol. Do you want to be my boyfriend? Yeah. Want to be my big titty goth FNAF girlfriend? LMAO, JK? Lol. Sorry if that sounded rude. No, it's fine. But we're dating now, yay. Have fun, baby. But before you go to bed, can I have a picture of you that I can save? Like an eggplant emoji? Your face. This is how he messages his underage fans, while also texting his ex that he still loves her and that he's jealous of her new partner, while making these videos about Five Nights at Freddy's.
What's up, FNAF fans? FunnyGuy13 here, coming to you, and welcome to Game Theory.
This was him entering into a virtual relationship with a 15-year-old where nudes were exchanged. Gabe has recently said that his ex and her friends made up these allegations against him. This is not true. The minor who provided these screenshots for us was not an invention of his ex, and the people doing this investigation spoke to her and verified her information. These are two separate people who only learned about each other much later, united over the ways Gabe abused them. In this same time period, Gabe had questionable conversations with other FNAF creators, specifically an alleged interaction with a cosplayer, who was a minor at the time, who posted pictures of herself as one of the teenage characters from the Five Nights at Freddy's novels. Without getting too into the weeds about the story of Five Nights at Freddy's, the series revolves around a serial killer named William Afton who kills children. Gabe's internet personality is based around William's character. His logo, profile picture, and even his costume in his videos are of William. In a previous message defending himself, he wrote the serial killer's catchphrase, "Like William Afton, I will come back." This is who he identifies as. He messaged the cosplayer a fanfiction about William Afton sexually assaulting the teenage character she cosplayed as, saying something to the effect of thinking that she would enjoy the story. He allegedly also messaged a friend about how he wanted to have sex with two cosplayers, the aforementioned minor and her friend, who both cosplayed as two of William's victims. A guy who dresses like William, sending a story where William rapes a teenager to a teenager who cosplays as that character, telling his friends that he wants to actually have sex with that teenager, is not acceptable in the FNAF community. Around this time is when these survivors got in contact with one another. They shared stories of his behavior and realized it was a pattern. They cut contact, and he was booted from their group, ostracized by the few creators who knew of him, and sent on his way. For the next few years, he struggled in obscurity, trying to reach out to the larger FNAF theorist base and grow his channel. Within the last few months, a group of FNAF YouTubers and content creators have formed Discord servers dedicated to ongoing collaborative projects, including podcasts, live streams, and general discussions about YouTubing. Gabe entered this space. Our space. All of his previous FNAF contacts, his friends, his victims, the survivors of his abuse, have since left the community. No one remained who could warn us about his history. But thankfully, Gabe couldn't stay normal for just 5 seconds. In 2025, Gabe, at age 22, started to date a 17-year-old. Somebody he knew in real life who was aware that he made FNAF content for kids reached out to a few FNAF creators to warn us about Gabe. The first step of this investigation was to speak to Gabe. Gabe confirmed the detail that he is 22, the girl in question is 17, and he gave us his side of the story. I work with her mom, and her mom set us up as friends because she didn't have a lot of friends where she was homeschooled, and she is into FNAF just like me, and we have some of the same interests. So I started talking to her as a friend, but she wanted something more than just friends. She talked to her mom because her mom came up to me at work and said that she, her daughter, wants to go out with me. We talked about it, including her age, and I wasn't comfortable with the whole thing because I didn't want to get into any trouble because of the age difference. So me and her mom agreed just to give it a few more weeks to get to know each other, and her daughter called me and we talked with her mom about the age gap and the age of consent for our state. Her mom asked me if I had the same feelings for her. I said I do like her, but I'm worried about the age. So her mom gave her blessing and her daughter permission for us to keep talking, and we've been talking as friends for over a month, and we got to know each other a lot more during Valentine's Day, and I gave her and her mom a promise that we wouldn't be anything more until she is of age. But after getting to know her, I like her, and I'm starting to get the same feeling she has for me, because her mom talks to me at work and everything, and she lets me know that her daughter has never been happier since she started talking to me. So I'm still only calling and talking to her on Discord as friends. But she has agreed that we wouldn't be anything too serious because we don't even see each other that much. But I haven't changed as the person you know me as, I'm still the same as ever. So we have a FNAF content creator dating a 17-year-old out of the goodness of his heart as a favor to her mother, waiting for her to turn 18, promising that he wouldn't do anything physical with her until then. Because you see, her mom set them up as friends, because her daughter doesn't have many. Her mom came up to him at work to say that her daughter wanted to go out with Gabe, but he wasn't comfortable. So he and the mom agreed to wait a few weeks, because he's worried about the age difference. He promised the mother out of the goodness of his heart that he wouldn't be anything more than friends with her until she's 18. All of the potentially questionable actions, like starting the relationship, progressing it forward, those were on the teenage girl and her mother. All of the holding back, the promising to wait, the being responsible, those were Gabe's decisions. According to Gabe. According to Gabe, he hasn't changed and is still the same as ever. This is, unfortunately, very true. His story, in light of everything we've learned, seems unlikely. And even if he is keeping his hands to himself, I doubt that any relationship he's in with that kind of power imbalance, a YouTuber dating a fan, a 22-year-old dating someone 5 years younger than him, a manipulator dating a homeschooled girl with no friends, could possibly be good for her. He, later, called things off when he realized people were onto him. I think this message shows that the reason he ended the relationship is because he thought he might be called out for it, not because he believes it was wrong. They don't want to see me end up in jail for this. After talking, it looks like I'm going to end everything with them, so I don't mess up myself in the future in the creator space. Just called with the girl I was seeing, and we agreed that we should stop seeing each other because she didn't want to get in the way of my online life. Despite this mother wanting Gabe to date her daughter because he was good for her, he had to sacrifice the relationship for the sake of his YouTube channel. Poor Gabe. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his behavior. We wanted to make a serious video detailing his behavior toward women and children without it being bogged down by the many other examples of bad things that he has done. We didn't feel it appropriate, for example, to discuss him sending a nude picture to a minor, and then to transition to him stealing FNAF theories. So we're not going to touch on those not serious topics. On Daco's Trevor Project charity stream on May 31st, 2025, Gabe donated $125 to send the following message. A message to the FNAF inner circle. I always come back. Despite Gabe being kicked out of every online FNAF community, despite a document going around explaining all the bad things he's done, despite apologizing in his own way before for this kind of nonsense, Gabe is obviously still not taking this stuff seriously. His response to his rejection from creator spaces is to quote William Afton on Daco's stream, to make light of the things that he's done. You're not a funny guy, Gabe. You're not coming back from this. Shortly after announcing Gabe's return, one of the survivors of his abuse had all of her TikTok videos taken down with false claims. This malicious targeted attack can't be tied directly to Gabe, but he has a history of doing this, as he admitted to earlier. These videos were not even about him. It seems whoever did this was trying to send a very clear threat for her to stay silent. Gabe also uploaded a video of his own on Thursday, June 12th, addressing some of the allegations, claiming them to be lies.
Now, the people who have been bullying me is none other than the FNAF theorist community themselves. Channels such as Rytoast, ID's Fantasy, Rem Games, Dual Process Theory. The reason? Pure jealousy and spite. These people have hated how I have made a name for myself in this community in bringing not only joy, the worst lie of them all, that these motherfuckers could ever put on my name is that they all collectively say and agree that I am a PDF file, all of which is not true.
If Gabe doesn't go away, we will break down the spin, lies, and laughable tangents of this non-apology video, as Gabe has thankfully provided us with more ammunition to prove his bad faith actions with this video. To everyone watching this, do not harass Gabe. Don't send him any threats or mean comments that might give him ammunition in some sort of pathetic attempt at painting himself as the victim, which he often does. But do spread this information. The survivors of his abuse and his victims are not looking for an apology. They've all made peace with it a long time ago. What's important now is making sure that new people who may view his content know the things he's done. The important thing now is to spread this information. There's a link in the description to a written timeline and some primary documents, in case this video is removed. Hopefully, none of us will have to talk about this guy ever again. But if we do, you can expect a much longer dive into his depravity. We are going to end this video with a direct message to Gabe. We want you to go away. We want you to erase your TikTok and YouTube and Twitter and never post again in the FNAF community. You do not have a future in the creator space. The witnesses and survivors have come forward with this information, but want to remain anonymous. We know you might be angry and might try to go after them publicly or privately. We know you have a habit of falsely flagging videos. Nothing in this video is bullying, or uses your copyrighted works in non-transformative ways, or anything else that might violate YouTube's terms of service. If you disappear, this is the last time anyone will mention you. If you don't disappear, if you make more YouTube videos pretending this didn't happen, if you try to get this video taken down with a false claim, if you reach out to the survivors, if you go public with their information, if you retaliate in any way, then we will release the second video we've already made going over each and everything you've ever done. From further examples of your manipulation, to frankly embarrassing behavior, bigoted statements, and the story behind Floppy the dog. Things that aren't illegal, but will get you laughed out of the community if you won't willingly leave now.